Patriots, and welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Hi, I'm your host, Shady Groove, joined by my co-host at intheMatrixxx. It's just after 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the West Coast. We are live worldwide, Anons tonight, Friday. What a day, what a night, what a weekend, what a brilliant president that we have guiding this mission. Anons everywhere, united behind very simple ideas. Those simple ideas are freedom, light, and love. Guys, this is amazing. What you have witnessed this week is just absolutely incomprehensible to see what is happening out there. If anyone out there is new to Q, thank you for joining us in the Q Lounge. You will find some of the best moderators on YouTube right there in the chat. We've got QD, we got Rocket Girl, Jay Vega, Poussant. At intheMatrixxx is my co-host, and he joins me right here live tonight. Matrix, please come in and say hello to this wonderful group and tell them you're excited like I am.
Wow, man. I love that new the intro, man. I love how it started off in the first 4 seconds. You could hear you say, "Good evening, Patriot." Oh my God, it's awesome. And the couch looks good. Looks like you got it cleaned. It's really nice, man. I've got my Q Lounge coffee with me, and I'm just chilling. Look at Pepe out in the background over there. Hey, Pepe, hey, how you doing, brother? He's on the stool. He's hanging out. He's on his lily pad over there. So, yeah, you know what I like too is that you mentioned that we are worldwide, and we certainly are, Shady. We're in 126 countries. worldwide in the last 45 days, unique IP addresses from 126 countries visited intheMatrixxx.com. And that's special thanks to Webmaster Q, yourself, all the other people that helped make it happen. Kiwi Patriot, he's one of the ones that came from New Zealand. And we're worldwide, guys, worldwide. And we've got such a coverage, and it's because of you, spreading the word, letting people know what our website is. Thank you so much, guys. Shady, I mean, isn't this unfathomable?
It is unfathomable. You're right. And all of the reach out that we have had from other countries to say thank you, to say we appreciate the information. It's hard for us to find the information over here on the chans. It's hard for us to see every Twitter account, and we're censored. And intheMatrixxx.com is providing a place for us to get information that we can download, take ourselves, print out, spread it around to people. So this is worldwide, everyone, and people out there who have been on researching conspiracies for a long time, I think you would agree with me that the
conspiracies. You mean researching the conspiracy?
That's right. The people out there in the rest of the world have had a lot more insight onto deep state that control mechanisms that we've kind of sort of convinced ourselves didn't exist here, and so a lot of people around the world are really waking up, everyone, and it is obvious, it is clear. And what we are, just to bring you in, if you're new to Q, like I said at the beginning, we have tons of information for you. Please don't hesitate in the chat out there. If you have a question, to throw it up. Somebody is going to take care of you. If you have a comment, don't hesitate to comment. I'm telling you, this is some of the best moderators out there on YouTube, and the stuff that we dig into here is pretty intense. And we have a lot of people out there who try to tell us that the things that we're talking about aren't really relevant, or that the things that we're talking about have, I don't know, not part of the conversation here, right? Saying that we're not in the right to discuss this stuff. We're not in the right to have this overarching conversation about what is history really. And that's actually what we're talking about here, everyone. And that's what we talk about all the time, is we're talking about history. Not talking about anything that has to do with anything other than the deep state trying to prevent you from getting the real information. And that is exactly what they're attempting to do. They do not want you to have the real. They do not want you talking to your friends, and they do not want you to be loud. And so that's what Anons
and
are
be proud.
Be loud and proud and be heard. And so your president, guys, we have not had any Q post. Matrix, we noted today that it had been 8 days plus now without any Q post, and that's A-OK. That doesn't make me feel any different about any of this. And I want
when the Q team is dormant, that means booms are coming. And Shady, could you bump your mic up just a little bit?
I just did bump it up. Does that help?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so you know what? When the Q team is inactive, Shady, aren't we going to expect some booms? We're seeing them. Look at the TV out there. I mean, the Fox Newses and all the news that's happening on the Chan boards and on the Twitter accounts. There is so much happening, Shady.
There is so much happening, and we are going to dive right into it tonight, guys. We're going to start tonight talking about some very, very simple things. And one of the first things I want to discuss with you is China. We are going to go over what China is, what's going on with China, what's going on with what the deep state is telling you about China, and how what the president is doing is very encouraging news to all of us. Number one, right off the top, economic juggernaut. That's what you're witnessing right now. An absolute economic juggernaut, something like we thought we would never, ever, ever see in America again. And that is what is happening. And the president is standing up for you, and he's standing up for your right to serve yourself with goods that you or your fellow countrymen make. And that is what the big conversation we're having here. Talked about for the last 2 weeks, week before last, we dug into the book None Dare Call It Conspiracy, and we went through and we defined communism and what exactly it means to keep and from being on the same page and to not talk to one another, and how that works in the benefit of the deep state. And then last week we dug into the Communist Manifesto, talking about what are the rules of communism, what do they really think, trying to connect all of you guys so that you can connect your friends and family to what's really going on. And what you're seeing is communism. There is no other word for it. You can paint a horse like anything else you want. If you paint it like a zebra, it's still going to be a horse. That's the bottom line. China is huge. China is a player in this game that was not a player in this game in the mid 90s. What happened after the Bush 1 administration, the Clinton administration, the Bush 2 administration, and the Obama administration was that they opened everything up for China to cheat you out of everything that your forefathers and your ancestors built here in America. And I'm not undercutting that statement. To cheat you out of it. Now, we go back, we understand the deep state, we understand George Sr., we understand his role in this. We understand that he and his family came from the Communist Party. They came here bringing communism to America, implementing communism in your government, and then cooperating with China, okay, through the Clinton administration, through the Bush 2 administration, into the Obama administration, into the current moment where this week Hillary Clinton was on network television saying, hey, China, help us hack Donald Trump's tax returns a couple of days before Donald Trump's tax returns just happened to fall out from the mid 80s and 90s. Very interesting, right? Deep state everywhere, guys. Swamp everywhere. You are going to, by the time this operation is over, you are going to realize why things couldn't happen faster than you wanted to. So, talking about China, talking about your president, talking about what it means to connect us to the world that we had before our wealth was stolen from us, starting in 1913, continued in 1933, and continued through World War II. World War II stole a huge amount of wealth from America. World War II was set up by the deep state. World War I was set up by the deep state. All operations to steal the wealth of America. The Civil War, set up by the deep state. Same. Splitting factions, stealing your wealth, your energy, your bottom dollar. That's what they have been doing. Now, you're seeing the deep state media talk about free trade. I want to go into just a second and talk about free trade. Number one, Patriots out there, let's talk about tea. Let's talk about tea for a second, and let's recognize the importance of tea, because that does make a good metaphor for what we are talking about. Because every deep state in the mainstream media will tell you that they believe in free trade. What they don't tell you is that they don't believe that they're not talking about a reciprocal trade. Okay, they're talking about free trade. So no matter how much a country wants to buy from us, and no matter how much we want to buy from another country, it's a free exchange, no tariff. Okay, now that's what they're talking about. What's actually going on is that America is being charged huge tariffs on our goods as they go into other countries, and other countries are being charged no tariffs on here because of the gap in goods moved around. Okay, so the amount of, we send less than $100 billion worth of stuff to China every year. They send us $800 billion worth of stuff every year. And look what we have done in America over the last 30 years. We have built Chinese superstores. Okay, to explain what I mean by that, Chinese superstores. You don't drive down and see, well, I do. I drive down the street and I see stores like Walmart, and I see stores like Costco, and I see stores like Best Buy, and I see corporations like Amazon. And what these entities are, China Direct. They are China Direct. They will undermine American businesses to get cheaper things from there. In other words, they will reinvent products, sell the technology overseas. They will make the products cheaper with cheaper materials, with less durability, and with the idea of engineered obsolescence, and then ship them here at this massive trade gap. When we talk about tariffs, now how did America become wealthy? Because you got to stand back and look at this system and say, well, there was never really a country that developed out of freedom, that's got away from a globalist system that controlled all the banking mechanisms and made sure everyone stayed in an interest-based system where no one really had anything. And if you took too much or you got too much, you couldn't pass it to your family and you couldn't keep it. How did we actually get here? So we set up a system where we had an event with some tea, and the taxes that were being perpetrated against us on tea were excessive, and we revolted on the predicate that we didn't want taxes from a foreign land. And we wrote a document, and we stood united, and we stepped away from a regime that had been controlling the world for centuries. Okay? Now, how did we do that and then independently from England or France or whoever you want to talk about that they are, how did we become wealthy? This is how we became wealthy. Tariffs, guys. Tariffs. That's how we became wealthy. That's how we engineered the beginning of this economy. And it worked both ways. Not only did we charge people to bring stuff here, but we made stuff that we shipped out that was desirable. In other words, people from around the world wanted to buy American. So, what did that do? Well, if everyone had, you guys have seen some of the memes that I've put up about the difference between your dollar today and your dollar in 1930 before they stole all the gold, okay? Well, the difference in that is quite large. And so you can imagine if $20 would buy you, 400 gallons of gasoline like it would 100 years ago, then you wouldn't have such a hard time affording things that are made right. Or you would be proud of the work that you've done, and you would make things better because you wanted people to be excited about your product. And then once they bought that, they wouldn't need to buy another one in 3 years. It would actually function for the duration of life. Now, this is lost on a lot of younger people because of the society that we're engineered to be in right now and who we are and how everything's turned out, and it's all turned on its head. But this has a lot to do with tariffs. And it has a lot to do with China, and it has a lot to do with our history because we have been tricked. Okay, we've been tricked into thinking that tariffs need to be even, or trade needs to be this, or this is going on with China. So, given a little bit of that background, I wanted to talk about that and explain a little bit about how this is affecting us with China. And I'm not talking, even things like the Dollar General store, okay? All of these different stores that have nothing but Chinese goods. Do you know? Okay, this happen and prepare for it. Goods are going to rise. Price of goods are going to rise. That's just what's going to happen. It is inevitable, but we have to pull back from the nipple that is China. And what is going on is the president is currently today implementing a 25% tax on about a little over $100 billion worth of China, and soon to implement 25% tax on the rest of the stuff coming from China. And now the deep state's going to tell you, oh my God, the sky is falling chicken little. How are we ever going to survive? Look at this. China's providing canned vegetables for us. Now, let me explain another thing to you. Del Monte is no longer in Iowa. The stuff that's coming from China that's in your food supply would make your jaw drop. Now, also in your chemical supply and everything else, that's all being manufactured over there. Reason that they can manufacture all of this stuff in China is because there is trade. Okay? Now, what the president is doing by putting a 25% tariff on the goods shipped from China, he is getting them to come to the negotiating table to say, this isn't going to work. We're going to have to come to some sort of negotiation. And B, he is making it easier for you, entrepreneurial type people out there, to make goods and be able to sell them, to do business in America and be able to do business here because of this extra amount that it costs to bring from China. Now things make sense to make here. And so what you're going to see is a very slow withdrawal by these huge companies. I expect to see it in Amazon. I expect to see it in Walmart. I expect to see it in Costco, Dollar General. I expect to see it in all kinds of other segments of the economy. A retreat from the Chinese influence here. Okay, we're going to dive in real quick, and we're going to read through. And Matrix, if there's anything in there you want to jump in on, I'm going to read a couple of Donald Trump tweets here real quick from today that are talking about this. And this is, to us, we are paying extra attention to Mr. Trump's Twitter feed. I want you guys to on this like a laser. Okay, I've said it every week. I think I should say it every week. This man's tweets are just as important as Q posts. This man is tweeting Q posts right in front of you if you pay attention to the communications here.
That's for sure, man. Absolutely. And he's been doing threads too, Shady.
Yeah, he has. But we requested some threads from him, didn't we?
I think we did. I think it was like a week and a half ago where he did one thread after we asked for it, and then we said he needs to do more. And now I'm seeing 2 tweet threads quite regularly.
So here, yeah, and sometimes
coincidence.
Yeah, sometimes he just does the little dots at the end. But let's run through them, and I'm just going to read them to you and kind of just put it in the context of some stuff I was talking about. Talks with China continue in a very congenial manner. Absolutely no need to rush. Not being China 25% on $250 worth of products. These massive payments go directly to the Treasury, U.S. The Treasury? Did he say that these payments go directly Fed or the Treasury? They're not the same. The process has begun to place additional tariffs at 25% on the remaining $325 billion. The U.S. only sells China approximately $100 of goods and products, a very big imbalance. With the over $100 billion in tariffs that we will take in, we will buy agricultural products from our farmers in larger amounts than China ever did and ship it to poor and starving countries in the form of humanitarian assistance. In the meantime, we will continue to negotiate with China in the hopes they do not again try to do the deal. And he says, tariffs will make our country much stronger, not weaker. Sit back and watch. In the meantime, China should not renegotiate deals with the U.S. at the minute, not the Obama administration or the administration of Joe, who let China get away with murder. Joe, now let's take a second and talk about what Joe Biden said this week. The other day, now Joe Biden is 30-some% in the polls, tracking, beating Bernie Sanders by double. All of a sudden, he's in. He's hitting the ground running. He had this week he had a similar crowd to what a Donald Trump rally reported by your wackadoodle NPC. WNPC reported that they were similar. I love that. Similar people there, but Joe Biden did make that he made the comment that the president is inaccurate about China being a threat. Now, this is a country that has a creed. It's not hidden. They're saying by 2049, we want to have eliminated America and be the only global world power. How do they think they're going to really do that if they can't sell their junk in China? Because the reason that it's being shipped here is because they can't sell it there. If they could sell the stuff in China that is cheaply made, then why not sell it there? Okay. So the president making some interesting talking points here. He's causing the deep state to they're falling over themselves every time he tweets because they cannot understand the communications. And we've been discussing this for a little bit now. We're trying to tie this into communism. Let's tie China into communism. Let's tie George Sr. into communism. Let's tie all of the deep state activities into communism. Let's tie James Comey into communism. John Brennan, Jim Clapper, Peter Strzok. All of these people have ties to communism. Not just inadvertently, literally.
Shady. Real quick, can you look at messages real quick right there in this chat that I got here? Well, I'm going to just say it because I'm just double checking with everybody. Your sound goes in and out a little bit and it's crackly a little. Is there a mic? Just make sure you're connected correct. I don't know what's going on. It could be a YouTube.
I'm hearing it okay in my headset. I'm not
sure. Could be a YouTube thing.
Is it not buffering tonight?
No, it's not. I'm not getting any buffer.
But there's something else.
Audio is in and out. Yeah, there's something else wrong. It may not be on our side, guys. It could be on the YouTube side.
I'm hearing
so
you come
I just want. I'm sorry to interrupt, brother.
Looks like that. They're saying no buffering, no buffering. I expect as soon as I say the word communism, there's going to be something. So, okay. So we'll just jump right back in here. I'm really sorry, guys, if some people are having problems out there. It looks like everything's going through 5.5 for me. But you just never know. Current tube structure out there. Okay, so now the president's says, talks about right there at the end, talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden says China's not a threat. If we bought $15 billion of agriculture from our farmers, far more than China buys, we would have more than $85 billion left over for new infrastructure, healthcare, anything else. China would greatly slow down and we would automatically up. Says build your products in the United States and there are tariffs. Your all-time favorite president got tired of waiting for China to help out and start buying from our farmers, the greatest anywhere in the world. Great consumer price index just out, really good, very low inflation. We have a great chance to really rock. good numbers all around. Now look at what you're seeing here. There is going to be a shift, and he's prepping you for it. He's showing you that this is what we're going to do. We're going to make stuff here. You don't have tariffs if we buy stuff from people that are here. You don't need tariffs. Be like it's going to be Creepy Joe over Crazy Bernie, everyone else's face. So he's doing a little bit of trolling there in the middle, and then we have been engaged in an unfair relationship with China for a long time. If they have reneged on the commitments they made to the WTO, particularly around intellectual property, quoting Maria Bartiromo or Carly Ona. That's going to be from a publication somewhere. And so this is, to me, music to my ears, Matrix. I feel like this man is talking to the issue. They told us, Clinton told us, Bush told us, everybody told us, China is your friend. As soon as we open up China and let them into the WTO, then they're going to be your friend. They're more communist now. They took all of our technology and they enslaved their whole population in 10 years. I mean, we're only talking, 15 years? Not even 15 years since the iPhone, Matrix. So how fast now you can't get on a bus in China if you're not if you're not your credit score or your friend score or whatever
your personal
it is,
rating,
basically. Your ratings.
Yeah. So, there was a Black Mirror. Did you ever see that Black Mirror episode?
Yes.
They had that where if you lost your rating, your personal rating, you couldn't do anything anymore. It's crazy.
It is absolutely insane, man. I mean, so this is your president, and this is him talking straight to you guys. I feel like that we have come so far in this short time. It's been a year and a half to get to the point where the country is having the conversation. We're having a real conversation here about tariffs, about farmers, about the economy. The economy grew at 3.2% in the first quarter. That is unheard of. We had like the creation of 260,000 jobs last month. It's going to continue. The Fed is pinned down. They cannot raise rates any longer. They're not going to be allowed to do that. So how in the world are they going to move? They can't move. They literally cannot move. Deep state is completely stuck. And you're seeing it. The Judiciary Committee this week held the Attorney General in contempt. They held the Attorney General in contempt for complying with the law. That is literally what they did. It isn't, and held him in contempt for not revealing information that they didn't go look at. The amount of stuff in the Mueller report that they're acting like that did not release could all be seen but like 2 redacted paragraphs or something in the whole thing. But no one has logged in to go actually look at that report. No one has taken the time to go look at it. They're just creating a show. They're just bouncing off walls. Nancy Pelosi this week literally cannot bring a sentence together. Okay, Adam Schiff is losing complete control of his narrative. They're all now saying that they are going to stand for gun laws. Cory Booker is saying that if you want to own a gun in his state, you're going to have to ask him. That's what they're saying. I mean, these people have lost their marbles in a way that it's almost like they're doing exactly what they're told to do to destroy the whole deep state, because you couldn't write it any better. You could not write it any better from what you're seeing happening. So, President addressing communism. Anons and all of us have been addressing communism. Last week we went over this, the 10 planks of communism in the Communist Manifesto. The mods will drop that out there for you to read through some of this stuff. But so I hope that my mic is working good. I wasn't paying attention to the chat right there, Matrix. I don't know what's going on. It sounds good to me, but I was wanting to read some of this stuff, and it'll probably be terrible if mic is no good. But here we go. Either way, this is called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Okay. And this is, you can find parts of this in Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse. And I wanted to, this is so you can show other people a structure to the cabal. This to me shows you a structure of the cabal and how they have been integrating their concepts around your concepts and sort of making it seem like all of a sudden it's all wishy-washy and your concepts are their concepts, then all of a sudden everybody's living in a socialist utopia where no one has anything. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. So let's start off here with the idea of this does talk about the Rothschild to get Amschel Rothschild give me control over a nation's currency and I care not who makes laws. And this is not directed at any humans. This is directed at the cabal in general. This is the process that they're currently using behind the scenes, have been using in your media to control you, study you. General energy concepts. In the study of energy, there always appears elementary concepts. These are potential energy, kinetic energy, energy dissipation. And corresponding to these concepts, there are three idealized, essentially physical counterparts called passive components. In the science of physical mechanics, the phenomena of potential energy associated with a physical property called elasticity or stiffness. It can be represented by a stretched spring. In electronic science, potential energy in a capacitor instead of a spring. This property is called capacitance instead of elasticity or stiffness. Science of physical mechanics, the phenomena of kinetic energy is associated with a property called inertia or mass. It can be represented by a mass or a flywheel in motion. Okay, so now we have an idea of here. Then we say in economics, these three energy concepts are associated with economic capacitance, capital, economic conductance, goods, economic inductance, services. All of the mathematical theory developed in the study of one energy system, mechanics, electronics, can be immediately applied in the study of any other energy system. Mr. Rothschild's energy discovery. Mr. Rothschild had discovered that currency or deposit loan accounts had the required appearance of power, could be used to inductance with people corresponding to a magnetic field into surrendering their real wealth in exchange for a promise of greater wealth instead of real compensation. They would put up real collateral in exchange for a loan of promissory notes. Rothschild found that he could issue more notes than he had backing for, so as long as he had someone's stock of gold as a persuader to show his customers. Loaning his promissory notes to individuals and to governments, these would create overconfidence, then he would tighten control of the system, collect the collateral through the obligation of contract, and the cycle was then repeated. That sound like anything you guys have seen out there? Collection of debts was guaranteed by economic aid to the enemy of the debtor. Profit derived from its economic methodology made Mr. Rothschild all more able to expand wealth. This is the model, what they have been doing to you for over a century, okay? And then I'm going to skip down here to the summary. That gives you a little overview of that part. Economics is only a social extension of a natural energy system. It also has its three passive components. Because of the distribution of wealth and lack of communication and lack of data, this field has been the last energy field for which a knowledge of these three passive components has been developed. Since energy is the key to all activity on the face of the earth, it follows that in order to attain a monopoly of energy, raw materials, goods, and services to establish a world system of slave labor, it is necessary to have a first strike capability in the field of economics. In order to maintain our position, it is necessary we have absolute first knowledge of the science of control over all economic factors and first experience at engineering the world economy. In order to achieve sovereignty, we must at least achieve this one end, that the public will not make either the logical or mathematical connection between economics and the other energy science, or learn to apply such knowledge. This is becoming increasingly difficult to control because more and more businesses are making demands upon their computer programmers to apply mathematical models for the management of businesses. So giving you an idea of the plan, of the scope, of the outline. We're going to scroll down through this here. These guys out there will drop you the link to this, but look at what you're being studied here. Economics of your nation and how to steal it is on display, and how they were going to work to steal it. Silent weapon for a quiet war. Capital, goods, and services. Everything brought down into those terms to control the flow, to control the resistance, to control the supply, to control the contents, everything. Food to commodities to goods, everything. falls into these categories of the way that they engineered your economy to trick you into accepting the stealing of your wealth as opposed to the accruing of your wealth. Okay, so we're going to skip down here. I'm showing you some of this stuff in slow motion. For goodness sakes, I'm not going to bore you with all this, but I just wanted to read a little bit and give you the link so you can show some people that tell you, hey, well, there's no conspiracy. There's no man behind the curtain. There's nothing that was written down 50, 80, 100 years ago. Try to engineer economic and social breakdown of the United States and turn a sovereign republic into a communist, socialist, dysfunctional mess? Yes, there was. And they attacked every single system you can imagine. Every single one of them. And if you see here, look at this. Strengths and weaknesses. Activity, sports, hobbies, etc. Legal, fear, anger, crime record, hospital records, drugs, sensitivities, reaction to pain, psychiatric records, habit patterns, programming, suggestibility or hypnosis, methods of coping, adaptability, behavior, consumption of alcohol, consumption of drugs, entertainment, religious factors, influencing behavior, other methods of escape from reality, payments, modus operandi, pay on time, payment of phone bill, energy purchases, water purchases, repayment of loans, house payments, automobile payments, payments on credit cards. Used to not have to make payments. Used to just be able to buy things. There was no such thing as credit and making payments. You didn't need to make payments because you could afford a car. It was like $200 to buy a car. And you could drive the thing around all year on $20 worth of gasoline 100 years ago. So, we haven't really developed that far, right? National input information, business sources, IRS, prices of commodities, sales, investments, stocks. Go ahead.
Shit. You made a in your video when you spoke with We the People, We the People, We the People. That one meme that showed like how much gallons of gas. There was a really good meme you had in there, and that was very fitting for what you just said too. So check out his video, and maybe we'll play it later. I don't know if you're going to play it later, but it's absolutely amazing. Good point there. Great points.
Absolutely, it's one of the main reasons that I put it in there to see. So I want people to be able to see. This is not present this. Sometimes people are like, oh well, the money was different then, and there wasn't as much money in the money supply. No, we're looking at the difference between $20 equaling an ounce of gold 100 years ago, and now now an ounce of gold is equal between $1,200 and $1,500. That's where your money went. They took you off the gold standard, and then they took out the information from your school that taught you what economics really meant, and then they taught you how to get faux outraged no matter what the media got outraged about. Then you got outraged, and so then you got distracted, and the people that couldn't pay attention to the outraged people decided to not pay attention to anything to do with politics. We're gonna focus on sports and entertainment. So look at the way the firewalls are working to turn all of your heads away. Look here, not there. Think mirror. Everything is absolutely turned on its head, guys. This right here gives you an outline from 100 years ago of how they were going to use all these strategies against you guys, each and every one of you. Communism is real. Communism at your door, and it is in every aspect of your. They don't want you to have guns. They don't want you to own property. They don't want you to be able to vote. They say that you live in a democracy that you do not live in. And they are telling the truth on one level, Matrix. One thing they're doing to tell the truth, they're telling you that the president is destroying their democracy, and we are taking apart mob rule. That's exactly what we're here doing. They kind of cloak it in the idea that America is a democracy, but they are telling they're telling everyone that the president is dismantling their little cash cow over there, piece by piece, one by one. Part. So for all you guys out there, I hope you enjoyed that. I wanted to zip through that for a quick into some of the other stuff that we're looking at in the news this week that I wanted to bring you guys' attention. Media isn't talking about it. One thing would be this interesting commentary. The Pope decries excessive demands for national sovereignty. Why in the world would the Pope be so concerned about your national sovereignty? Deep state operations set up out the whole world that demand and dictate what you do and where your money goes and who steals it, national sovereignty doesn't work good for that. And as everybody out there knows, of the one world government slash system that they were setting up, well, this was at the center of it. And so the Pope is getting louder. He's telling you, and he's telling the president that sovereignty is no good in Europe. Well, you're wrong. Sovereignty is no good in Asia. You're wrong. Sovereignty is no good in the West. You're wrong. Sovereignty is what we have been founded on. It's what your document, the Constitution grants you, is sovereignty. Sovereignty means this. It means innocent until proven guilty. That's what sovereign is supposed to mean. Innocent until proven guilty. And you do not, no one else on planet Earth other than the people who are inside of America are innocent until proven guilty. Anywhere else in the world, you have no due process. You are a subject of the state. They own you. They own you through economics. They own you through the systems that I was just pointing out. And the church and the Pope think that they are holding your contracts. They think, and what you're seeing, what you're seeing going on in the border is being perpetrated by this right here. You're seeing 100,000 people month of April, guys, apprehended at the border. That's like 200 plus thousand so far this year. To think they're not sending them, they're sending them in droves, and they're not all coming from Central America. They're coming from all over the world.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we also have to understand too is this is the first black pope that's a white pope. And if you know, to understand Pope Francis and what he's doing, I mean, he doesn't think this is crazy. What he's talking about, taking away sovereignty. You know, this is something that people do not understand. I don't think he's a black pope. We've got two black popes, and we've got another pope in the basement that didn't, you know, pass away, so he's still alive. You don't just resign as being pope. There's something wild going on there, and you know, it's you really need to understand the Jesuit thought process and how they are. I mean, basically what the Pope wants us to be is all third world countries. Everybody's the same. And, you know, they're who they are, right? That it's just, I don't know how to say it in a different way, but you have to really just, I guess, understand, you know, when they talk about discernment, it means totally something different than what we are talking. It means, you know, some things you can discern and other things you can't. They have a way of, you know, twisting the words, and obviously go read the oath of a Jesuit too. Go Google that on the internet too. So I just wanted to point that out, that, you know, this is a pope like we've never had a pope before. First time ever, Jesuit.
And he's really making making a lot of moves on the world stage, unlike the popes in the past have done stuff that we've paid attention to, but not really so.
Change the Lord's Prayer, right?
You go, my friend. And who's trying to make sure that Q or the president doesn't take over? You know, look at what
That's
the president.
Right.
And look at what he just said about all the money in tariffs is going to go to the Treasury. Well, whenever you take and put a bunch of money in the Treasury, aren't you keeping it from the Fed? You know, so the scam is being exposed little by little. And man, this is this is what we do here, is we kind of just go through all the things that are sort of pointing us in the right direction, that we can know where we are on the playing field. So that was one thing. We'll run through 3 stories real fast here. Wanted to talk about CIA officer pled guilty to conspiracy espionage. May 1. For CIA case officer pled guilty today to conspiring to communicate, deliver, and transmit national defense information to the Republic of China. Don't really need to read the rest of that article. I think you guys can infer plenty from that right there. The mods have the link for you. But that is 1. CIA officer pleading guilty to conspiring. Clowns going to be really nervous really soon. Here we go. Green energy cluster at trial for scamming multiple federal agencies. Customer. Attorney General Jeffrey Boser Clark of the Department of Justice, Environment, and National Resources, United States Attorney District announced that David Dunham Jr. on the following crimes wire fraud to defraud the U.S., wire fraud, failing false tax documents. So this is going to be how the all of the different scams that they were running in the quote green energy sector under the Obama administration, and this is going to not just be into espionage, fraud. This is gonna be huge amount of what's going on in the healthcare system. Joe Biden decided to say this week that anyone who is here deserves medical coverage, and in the same pretty much sentence, he said anyone who wants to come here should be allowed to come here. So under that math matrix, we are getting ready to import 6 billion other people, and the American people have to feed, clothe, and take care of them. Think about that, guy. What are we talking about? Like, we can't have borders. We can't stop people from coming here. That's, are we living in a complete twilight zone, or is there any up is down? I understand up is down, right is left. Think mirror, but see this really happen in front of you. You should be extremely excited. Here's another story that did not get reported. We reported on this about a month and a half ago. Former Marine arrested in North Korea embassy attack in Madrid. Anyone out there remember that back in, I think it was mid-March, there was a bunch of people stormed the North Korean embassy in Madrid. They tied everybody up, took them out back, took a bunch of information, and then left. Well, didn't hear about that in the mainstream news. And then now you're not hearing about this. A former Marine arrested in the North Korea embassy attack in Madrid. And where was this former Marine, a man suspected of involvement in the group's February raid on North Korea, arrested in LA by U.S. What? So we have a Marine, who worked with other people who got arrested for going in with other people and disturbing, stealing from, hijacking, harassing North Korean embassy in Spain, and you don't hear a word about it on the news? Not to mention you don't hear a word about the original. You don't hear a word about this either, everyone. Look at the comms. Look at what you're not being able to see. Look at what I'm not showing you. Everything is happening in reason, and this isn't a mess of that. Leaked USA's February 28th plan for a coup in Venezuela. Whoa, who would have thunk it? Detailed plan from United States Southern Command, February 2018, issued with the title plan to dictator. And is here presented. Complete document was personally signed by Admiral Todd. So, this was uncovered a plan to instigate a coup in Venezuela a year ago. Wow. Not buried news. People signed this stuff, Matrix. They thought this was a good idea somewhere.
And, us conspiracy people, we've known that the deep state, they have a program to go ahead and do this to all countries down there. They had the School of Americas, this is, they train, they help them, steal elections. They help them figure it out as long as the people that they want get in power. And we're seeing that going down. I mean, there was, who was it? Paraguay. I can't remember who it was, but it was an ex-president or somebody high up in the government, and they came to arrest him. He went into his bedroom and took his own life. This is all coming out into the open, Shady. We've known this for years as regular conspiracy, mapping the conspiracy against us, conspiracy. I don't want to call it conspiracy theorists because that's moot anymore, because everything that we've learned is kind of coming true, right? So just very interesting.
Yeah, really is. And to see it all, to see the neocons that are up there, they're pushing for war in Iran, they're pushing for intervention in Venezuela. I want you guys to just hold back and just watch how your president plays this. Just watch how your president understands the comms here, how he moves through this in the next short amount of time. Pay attention to the eccentricities, if you will, and pay attention to how he does it. And so you can have an easier time explaining that because you're going to have to explain it to people. And that's kind of what we're doing here, is setting you up to be able to tell your friends and family, hey, this is what I think is going on, and I think you should be paying attention to it. So this is, Venezuela in a nutshell. They're attempting a coup, and you guys are seeing the show. Okay, this is all the show. Korea, China, the president, Comey, Clapper, CNN. CNN this week, they laid off. They're saying they're laying off 300 people from CNN, guys. And if that's not winning, I don't really know what you could consider it. But wow, that is winning. Next thing you know, Matrix, how are we going to get those things? How are we going to get CNN turned off in the airports? That's somehow, I don't think they're popular enough to be playing in every airport across the country. How many viewership are they counting that are walking through airports every day?
Yeah, right. 0. I don't even look at it. I can't.
I can't pay attention to it.
The only time I'll watch CNN or WSMPC is if Carly Bond is, making fun of somebody over there, and I get to hear her laugh track with it. That's the only way I can watch it.
And she is amazing. I hope she's out there with us.
I hope she is too. She is amazing.
Yeah, so we are seeing NXIVM news as well. I just dropped a link in there for you guys to talk about the NXIVM, or to read about or to watch this interview this past week they did, and this guy has been very revealing about what's really going on with NXIVM and the Bronfmans and the Bloodlines and Keith Raniere and who they all were. Kirsten Gillibrand, her dad was part of NXIVM. There's people. There's tons and tons and tons of deep state people connected to this. Whether it be Anthony Weiner, whether it be Schneiderman out of New York, Cory Booker, all kinds of other people being named in this, kind of behind the scenes. No media paying any attention to it. They're bringing people, children and young girls from Mexico to participate in their rituals, but the media doesn't seem like that this is a story, even though it isn't hidden. The people are showing up to report on this every day. This is going to be one of the can of worms that leads to Clinton Foundation as well. All roads are going to end up leading to deep state, guys, and that really does hinder who and what the next move is. It is in real time. It's happening as we go along. Things are fluid and things are being worked out and the calculations are being eliminated as we go along. General overarching plan is working because of the exposure that we're getting. If we weren't getting any traction, and if we weren't getting exposure, and if nobody was paying attention to the president and they were getting him every day in the news, we might be a little bit more concerned out here. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what I'm seeing. That's not what Matrix is seeing. We've been doing the show every day for or every weekday for like 50 shows now. And to see this progress in this way, Matrix, the way that we're seeing it every day, we talk about it every day, we bring up different relevant facts. There's so much we're not even getting to this. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about tonight, we're not even getting to because there's so much other stuff going on, and prioritizing it. It's kind of why we've worked so hard to get everybody up to speed so you can prioritize it a little bit yourself out there.
Yeah, there's so much going on, guys, and we're trying to just take a step back while Q's gone too, and go through some of those older Q posts. The first 128, which has been awesome, by the way. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have been enjoying that as well. And just the news is just going 100 miles a minute. It's getting really crazy.
Yep. Deplorable freedom fighter out there, brings up the Long Beach port. We just had the Q drop about the Long Beach port. China having to sell their interest in that. This is going to come back to all of these different pieces of infrastructure that have been sold off to foreign companies. There's been tremendous amounts of foreign companies that have come in and bought roads, bridges, and toll centers and other government facilities that they're using for good Lord knows what. This has been happening for a long time, and it's going to, we used to take spying seriously, and we used to really think people were spying on us, and then something happened, and we started to give all the people that we were afraid were spying on us all the information, and then now we're standing there, the our FBI director, our past or old FBI director, DIA, CIA, all these people say the word spying isn't a relevant term. Okay, so if the FBI is surveilling someone in America under a jurisdiction and under a court order, that is surveillance. If you are going to a secret court and getting a FISA warrant to use a person and pretend like there's a foreign spy talking to him because you sent the foreign spy to talk to the guy, then that is spying. Plain and simple.
Yes.
There's no other way to categorize it.
And if you, they're going through all these videos. Donald Trump is doing one thing. He's lying every time he says spying. You know, now they're eating their words because surveillance means spying, guys. Remember, like the Q post talking about how we should be, every American should be mortified that an FBI spied on a campaign. And even on before, he was president, they spied on him, maybe even several years before. This is something that we as Americans, Fourth Amendment right, should actually be up in arms about. Not just watching them going, oh, there's a coup just planned on the president. And oh my gosh, we're spying. Oh, I'm going to go to work now. Let's go play. I got to go to yoga class. Guys, this is ridiculous. We need to be up in arms, man. Demand accountability.
I agree. And that is it. That is what Q, if Q's not going to do anything else, it has to be demand accountability. It has to be. That has to be what we do, because that is the only way, the other side of this, guys, it's the only way we're going to find a system that works is if we demand accountability from the system. That's how they've taken your power, right? That's how they've taken your power. Is they're not demanding. You've been taught that it's not your right to demand responsibility. You've been taught that it's not your right to stand up for yourself.
We forgot our power.
We forgot our power, and how many times has said that? And we've forgotten a lot about what's really important to us. And so right now, Matrix, you were mentioning a minute ago about the video that I just did. So I would like to sit back for a second, take a breather. I want to play this for you guys that we were working on for you.
Nice.
It started with a simple anonymous post, a prediction, a premonition, if you will. The matriarch of the American monarchy and globalist governments said this single-lettered stranger was to be arrested, followed shortly thereafter by those that aided and abetted her crimes against country. The claim was comical to some. So outlandish was it that it could have only been considered a fictional fragment of someone's conspiratorial imagination. Only it wasn't a fragment. Rather, it became a steady flow of pieces of information. Gradually, this single-lettered soothsayer shared more, capturing the minds of the hopeful patriots, confirming what a select few already suspected but perhaps too hesitant to vocalize, at the risk of sounding less than sane. At the onset, few followed. Those who did were mocked by the masses, but over time, the tantalizing tidbits of information started to coalesce, as did those who began to research for themselves. They started to place the puzzle pieces together rather than allowing the media mockingbirds to do it for them. The state of hypnosis that we are born into, bred to believe in, and constantly brainwashed with began to lift like the ominous clouds of a great storm after it has wreaked havoc. It was revolutionary. And it was the Great Awakening. We the people, we the people, we the people, we the people. Where we go one, we go all. No one person is above another. We the people are making the world a better place. We the people are taking back our country and world from the evil doers who would do us harm. All for a buck. No more. Stand up, patriots. Stand up and defend what you know is right. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. 4, 10, 20. Guys, think that we're not, think this isn't important, and you're not really paying attention, okay? This is more important than any operation that has ever been started, everyone. This is our country. This is our republic. This is who we are. And we're going to stand up here, and we're not going to let them take it from us. They're not going to take it from us. We're going to stand up to them, and we're going to demand that the accountability that we want from our servants. These people serve us, guys. They serve you. They are not there to tell you what to do. You are here to tell them what to do. That is our goal. We are here to tell them what to do. They do not get to just run over us and steal from us and take everything that we've got and everyone just lay around like there's nothing going on. And that's been going on for a long, long time. And so every single time that you see different stories and different news people that come out and they're spreading lies, they're spreading propaganda against you. It's a weapon against you. The knowledge is in your head. The truth is in your head. The light is there. The truth can be seen by looking inward. It isn't out there in the ether somewhere. You can see truth by seeing something in front of you that makes sense. You can see it. You can see truth by looking into the eyes of your children, not listening to what they say. They may not always say truth, but you can see it. The light. The light is the truth. You're born with the ability to understand this, and you're taught as you get older how to forget it. We've all been taught how to forget it. And united means something more than Republican and Democrat. United, where we go one, we go all, does not mean Republicans. The name of the show tonight is You Are Going To. And you are, like it or not. We're going. We've already made the commitment. We've already broken through. There's no going back. So I'm seeing people out there who have concern issues that want to throw up all this stuff. Oh, well, this is Q's not posting. So look at you. They're not understanding. You were given a year's worth of information so that you could understand right now. So you could understand this very moment, not 6 months from now. Who knows what's going to be happening 6 months from now in this whole system that we're working with here. 6 months from now, we're going to be talking about completely different issues that are going to be revolving around another level of this revelation. You know, with us talking, all of us that have done so much research and tossing ideas around, we have no idea. Like, how long do you think it's going to take? I don't know. I mean, we're unraveling a 6,000-year-old cabal, so you'd think it might take a second or two. It sure isn't going to happen in one fell swoop, and it definitely isn't going to happen the way that we dictate it to happen. Our job isn't to dictate the plan. Our job is to find and implement systems to hold our servants accountable. That is what we have to do. We have to use the internet, and we have to use the blockchain, and we have to start somehow cooperating with the representatives that we vote and elect to send up there, and we have to cooperate with the people that are throwing the youth in jail at an outrageous rate for nonviolent crimes. I mean, look at the war there. You have 7 million people incarcerated in America? The largest mass incarceration of human beings ever in the history of the world? Sitting there every day not doing anything. What are you talking about? So you're telling me that we can stand up on a moral compass. Now you're going to love this. We can stand up on a moral compass, and we can say that, oh, because this person is a bad person, and this person is convicted of drug charges, and this person has 3 counts against them, and they've done all this. Well, whoa. Where did the drugs come from? Who brought them here? Does that go all the way to the White House for half a century? Does it go all the way to the White House for longer? The people responsible for bringing this stuff here, the same people responsible for implementing and making the laws that locked everybody up and made them dysfunctional and made them addicted and made them not think and care about their future, and to not want families, and to not want to stand up for themselves, and to not think it mattered because it didn't look like anything they were doing was going to work. And so then what it did was it made all the other people who somehow were able to get through that and function on the opposing side and say, oh, well, that person is a drug addict. Well, the drug addicts are where we go one, we go all too. Sorry to tell you. And so are the people that don't believe the same things that you believe around this world. They're allowed to believe what they want. And they're going to. Because we're not going to let the deep state continue to feed on society. Sorry. It's not up to them. It's up to you. It's up to we the people. We the people decide to hold our governments accountable worldwide. There's more of you than there are of them. The revolution was the information.
Shady, I don't like people that smell like pickles.
I hear you.
Do they go too?
They go too. They're going to, Matrix.
All right.
People that smell like pickles. I've got 3 of them over here. Do you see what I'm saying though? There's all this. There's these people that are splitting in their minds, like, oh, well, you're good, but oh, you're not good. Oh, well, this person. Okay. Do you know why people steal from people? Do you think people in America steal from other people because they're bad? Or do you think that they steal from other people because they didn't have an option? How many people were stealing from people 100 years ago when everybody's dollar was worth what you saw in that meme a little bit ago? Would you, if you had plenty, would you need to steal from someone else? Would you need to take what belonged to someone else? You kind of wouldn't, would you? I mean, that's what we're doing. And the only way we're going to ever hold these people accountable is to have some sort of system that shows the math. And you're being led astray because you're being told that the math doesn't matter. You know how you're being told that the math doesn't matter? It's called participation trophies. That's one way you're being told that the math doesn't matter. The math matters. And the people that have good ideas should win. And the people that have the best ideas should be the best. And the people that do the best work should be the best. That is the way our society was structured 100 years ago. And it is not like that now. the greedy people that cheat the most get to be the top. Why? Because the people that are in the government protect them because they're the ones that are bringing in the drugs to begin with. Flying them in on planes all day long, going out. You want to see some real fun. It's going to be whenever the stuff that El Chapo had to say comes out. Miss Pelosi, Miss Harris, Mr. Nadler, Mr. Swallowwell. All you guys, we know why you're loud. All you Hollywood people out there, we know why you hate Mr. Trump. This is not conjecture here. We know what we're taking apart. We're doing it on purpose. We were told to break the mainstream media, and we're doing it. You guys are doing it. And the way you're doing it, you didn't go out there and you didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was disconnect from it. All you had to do was make different decisions in what you wanted to think and believe and hear and learn and who you wanted to try to convince. And how much did they really matter to you? Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that connect us. That is who we are. And so if we can get back to this fabric, and man, if there's anything that I can say, it is A, let's start putting the people in jail back to work. B, let's start putting the homeless people back to work. C, let's start pretending like there's no such thing as a sanctuary city. Let's build a wall. Let's have a huge trade negotiation with China and get things more on an even keel. And let's put the dollar back on the gold standard. Now, you pull off half of that, and it's a miracle. What if we go for broke? We're going for broke. We're going to pull off all of it. All of it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want to do. I want all of it in our pocket. 5 by 5. There's no reason we should fall short of that goal. Because if we can use an internet to move this type of data around, there's no reason we can't use the internet to track and have up here, there should be, go to house.org and you should see all the bills that are being voted on. You should see how everybody voted. You should be able to see in real time who's doing what. Okay, Nancy Pelosi is over there talking to the across the street to the Senate to Senator Warren. I want to know that. It's in public. Why can't we know these things? Why don't we have systems set up there where we can monitor it 24/7 with some sort of context that is not C-SPAN? C-SPAN is okay, but it doesn't do the job. It doesn't give you context. It gives you talking points and it gives you some visuals, but we want accountability. We want it to be recorded that Nancy Pelosi voted like this, and we want it to be put in a blockchain so one day come down the line, this is the only reference point we look at. How'd you vote? This is how you voted. Did you do good? Well, the representatives don't think you did. Whenever election cycle comes around, let's put this up on TV. This is the way they voted. They voted against guns here. They voted against your First Amendment right to freedom of speech here. They said that there should be hate speech crimes here. They said that we should support sanctuary cities here. And then you can look at that and say, wow, that doesn't represent what I think. This cookie cutter politician model is gone, baby. Gone. And that's how we're gonna change this world. That's how we're going to change this world, and we couldn't change it until we broke the mainstream media. And if you have not watched CNN, James Comey on CNN yesterday. James Comey on CNN. This guy couldn't have done anything more stupid than what he did in this investigation into Donald Trump. I mean, literally every single thing he did was some sort of... They're trying to say that they were investigating Carter Page whenever they were surveilling them months earlier, before there was even supposed to the investigation started. Comey goes, oh, I don't know when he testified under oath. He didn't know when the investigation started. And the people out there asking him questions, and his smug nature, you can see it in him. He hates America. He is socialist to his core, just like his brethren, Anderson Cooper, just like everybody over there at CNN, just like the MSNBC crowd, and just like all of the academic crowd, and just like all of the social media crowd. They all agree. Mob.
Yeah. Shady, did you see Comey, what he said? Trump eats your soul in small bites. It looked really evil. He kind of said, so you had Anderson Vanderbilt, CIA, interviewing ex-top FBI. And Comey said President Trump shapes those around him and then pull in weaker souls. It was just a really weird comment, man. And his performance there was absolutely ridiculous. They had people on that were ex-FBI heads. That's not what you don't walk over a fake FISA. It should have looked, if that was on the leader's desk of their, bureau, he would look at it and say, there's no basis to this and go in the garbage. But this was an organized coup, as you know, and it's absolutely insane. And if you looked at the background of the CNN interview, it looks communist, Shady, I'm going to pop this link. Just grab this when you can. Just look at this picture right here. Pictures, the symbolism is their downfall. Look at the upside down star pointing right at Anderson Vanderbilt. CNN, all red. It's just a really weird picture, Shady. It's just odd. So just wanted to give you guys that Comey thing was, it was disgraceful.
Look at that. This is what he's talking about. Does that look like America? Look at that. They're telling us
the upside down star pointing right at Vanderbilt.
Yep. They're telling us exactly what they want you guys to hear, but no one else can see. And you're absolutely correct. The FBI director is giving me a lesson on morale. That's what is happening. James Comey wrote this piece on the first, talking about how Trump co-ops leaders like Bill Barr, saying he's deteriorated his moral soul. Are you kidding me? How could we get any further from a political conversation than talking about someone eating someone's soul? Like I said, rejection is.
There was a new Trump tweet too. Did you see the Comey tweet too as well? There was a new one, and he basically says why I don't hate Trump, essentially. But Trump says it right. Comey's a disgrace to the FBI and will go down as the worst director in its long and once proud history. In fact, one of the first Q posts says that he will go down in history. And it said ... fill in the blank as the worst. He's going to be the worst, guys. This guy is absolutely insane. And I love. Did you bring up the Huckabee tweet, or were you?
Yeah, I was going to talk about it. I actually didn't have it up here, but if you dropped a link to it, I can put it up because I want the Comey Island one.
Yeah,
I said I was the first one to hashtag feed Comey Island.
Feed Comey Island. I love it. And basically, I dropped it right there. It says rumors that Governor Mike Huckabee says rumors are that at Real Trump will rename Gitmo Comey Island and use it to house dirty cops and intel agents and co-conspirators who used lies to illegally spy on a president. Conspiracy cover-up and attempted coup. Katie, bar the door. I mean, gloves are off. And then there was a great Patriot, where we go one, we go all, dropped a meme on that with the Coney dog. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to drop it here for you guys. Get this tweet out there. It's hilarious. I laugh so hard. It says, replying to government, Mike Huckabee, hey, deep staters, enjoy a Comey dog during your indefinitely extended future stay at James Comey Island. Oh my God. I laugh so hard. So guys, it's happening, man. Shady. This is what we're witnessing is amazing, guys. And we're watching a movie. We got AOC, doesn't even know what a garbage disposal is. She's never seen one before. She ran
Tell me what's going on with AOC and the garbage disposal. I saw something I didn't quite get what was happening.
Well, allegedly, she has never seen a garbage disposal before. And she's like, I've never seen. What is this? Is this good for the environment? I don't know. I've never seen one. Do we put food scraps in here? I have no idea.
You gotta be kidding me.
And I'm like, is this and it's sure enough, it's real. So are you guys enjoying the movie? This has got to be part of the movie, right? I mean, who elected somebody that doesn't know what a garbage disposal?
What one is?
Yeah, let me find it, man. I'm gonna get it for you. Hang on. It's Mark Dice, I think, dropped
awesome.
that one as well.
This is, I'm glad you brought this up too. The Huckabee thing, the trolling aspect of it, because this is. I meant to talk about this and forgot to get it in the thing. Thanks for giving me that, because that is a funny funny moment.
Here you go. Coming your way right now, brother. Check it out. And it's this is unedited, but it's 3 minutes long if you want to see it. Oh my God. Just play some of it.
Can't make it up, man. Really can't make it up with her. I saw something earlier about a garbage disposal, and someone was like making a joke about AOC and the garbage disposal. I'm like, what? This leading from the Huckabee, his daughter is Sarah Sanders, and I'd be too far off for two proofs here talking about this, because here was this week the Raw story. Talked about Sarah Sanders implementing new standards to disqualify almost the entire White House press corps. Matrix, we need to go ahead and apply for some credentials. There might be some openings up here soon. Saying that the White House press secretary has quietly implemented a new standard that has resulted in what one journalist calls a mass purge of almost the entire White House press corps. Well, what does that mean? Well, we're going to throw out journalists that were traitors. Huckabee Sanders revoked the press credentials known as hard pass for all Washington Post reporters assigned to cover the White House and many others that would be 6 correspondents and Dana Milbank, a veteran journalist who writes an opinion piece for the Post. After covering 4 presidents, I received an email informing me that Trump's press office had revoked my White House credential. Milbank writes to Washington Post. So what are we supposed to do? Notice how
Jim Acosta lost his again, Shady.
Yeah,
you saw that, right?
Yeah, and they're expecting that we're just going to sit around. The only reason that these people haven't been held to task till now is because of this investigation. The investigation was making it to where, everything's going to be seen as interfering with the media and blown out of proportion. The whole second part of the Mueller report has to do with media sources, nothing else. I cannot think of a better thing for the White House to be doing than removing press credentials from these corrupt journalists out there who do not stand for your republic. They do not speak for your republic. They do not speak for me. Okay, no, I cannot remember the last time a journalist asked a question of the president or the press secretary that made sense to me or that was on my radar as something I was concerned enough about to ask the press secretary about. Not supposed to set them up for softball questions, but you're also not supposed to lie and cheat and manipulate within your questioning. If you pay attention to the way they question her, the question is always some sort of back-angled, sideways, come-at-you attempt to belittle you, as opposed to asking you a question. And then they take whatever the answer was to their crazy, goofy question, and they go out and they spin it however they can spin it in the media, make it seem like she's the bad guy whenever she's trying to talk to you and trying to tell you something. Guys, this is not going, I said, all of us together in this are going to be successful. And all of us together in this are going to see the end of this. Yes, but when is it going to come? I don't know. How long is it going to take? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me, Matrix, if it takes us 10 years to take down this huge cabal. If we get it all down and they stop feeding on us, I'm good. Whenever the timeline is.
Shady, we haven't seen any arrests, they say. But Shady, Hillary Clinton's still walking around. This is not just about Hillary Clinton, folks. This is about reinstating what this country was founded on, what our founding fathers wanted this country to be that we've never had. So you guys don't get it because we've never had it. I don't get it, but it's coming back. We're going to get it for the first time, Shady. And people out there, we are going in the right direction, and it's going to take time. This is centuries of control. It's not going to happen in 2 years, man.
Yes.
Centuries.
And it's not a joke. It's not fun. And I'm sorry, and I'm going to be a little tough here, but your emotions don't play in and don't factor into this operation. Neither do mine, and neither do Matrix. Our emotions don't play into this. The players are having emotional reactions, and they're being mitigated, but your emotional reactions are not being factored into this. You're expected to be emotionally strong. You're expected to recognize the comms. You're expected to listen to your president, guys. And so right now, Matrix, I'm going to introduce great new song from a wonderful, awesome Patriot, JT Wild.
Yes.
Thank you for the pain. And it couldn't come at a better time. Let's take a listen here. Get it, JT.
Oceans of emotion rise like the tide. You're the sweetest song I know. You're giving me the notion you wanna run and hide from the saddest song I wrote. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Wishing on a dead star I could know who you really are, but it's not that easy. I'm begging to the moonlight, bring me just one more night, but she still fades away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Thank you for the past is very haunting. It can be quite daunting, but it still fades away. My pain can be a demon. It comes at me screaming, and then it runs away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Yeah, thank you for the thank you for the
Wow, JT Wild with another amazing song there. Thank you so much. Thank you for the pain, JT. We had a great week this week on the Matrix Groove Hour. JT had a 50th birthday this week. Happy birthday again to you, and happy birthday to any other Anons out there that had a birthday this week. And what a wonderful world that you're living in. What a wonderful spirit that you bring to this movement. What an amazing time we are living in. It is really difficult to explain it in any other terms than that. I couldn't have a better person to be working with me on this project than you, Matrix. I appreciate everything, all the dedication, the work, the digging in, the understanding, the decoding, all the Q posts, all the everything. Thank you so much out there, Anon's Webmaster Q. He has put together some unbelievable stuff. If you guys have not checked it out, please go check out intheMatrixx with 3x's.com. We have the social media network over there. You can come connect with us and direct message us without Twitter seeing it. We also have the Q post live that have deltas that you have all of the crazy cool search functions to help you get to the memes, make your snippet quick, get it onto Twitter fast as you can do it. We are digging into some really big stuff and have some really neat things on the horizon. And Matrix, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to let you maybe talk to him for a few minutes. I did my normal thing. I went off on a rail and a rant and a tangent, and hopefully it wasn't that bad of a recording out there. Did I lose you?
Oh my gosh, I was talking.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It was the mute. So my apologies. Shady,
You're all good.
I want to thank you very, very much too. You have been amazing, and we stand for truth. In fact, meeting you has been amazing. Yes, we've actually met in person, and he's just as awesome as you hear him every day, guys. He's an amazing person. He's real, and
I'm not a bot.
He came out and made sure that you're not a bot. He made sure that I was real too, because we've been running into a lot of people that we thought were real and they're not. But let me just tell you one thing. I want to go through this post. I love this post. It's one of my favorites. It's number 420 on the Patriots fight board, Q post 2440. And it says, "Be proud, Patriots. Today, like in 2016, you are in one united voice, rising up to defend this great nation. Today, like in 2016, you are in one united voice, protecting the freedoms in which so many have died to provide. Today, like in 2016, you are in one united voice, making America great again." And this is the part I love the most. We stand together. We stand united. We stand for our flag. We stand for good. We stand for what is right. We stand for compassion. We stand for freedom. We stand for peace. We stand for liberty. We stand for justice. We stand for equality. We stand for prosperity for all. All. We stand for religious freedom. We stand for human rights. We stand for life. We stand for each other. We stand for friendship. We stand for love. We stand for, you fill out the next one that you want. We stand for the United States of America. Are you proud to be an American? Because today, and that day was 11/6/18. Today, America is reunited. Q. And if you guys love America, hit 45. And if you think President Trump needs to get elected, we need to keep being loud and demand accountability, press 45 for me. MAGA 2020.
Let them roll, guys.
Okay? Let them roll. In fact, get your $20 bill, put MAGA and put arrows to the 220s. MAGA 2020. Get your $20 bills, get them out, and put MAGA in the middle and put arrows to the each 20 in each corner. 2 of them. 2020, Trump 2020, guys. And Shady, God bless you. God bless everybody out here in our range. God bless the people in the 126 countries that we reach, Shady, from intheMatrixxx.com. Thank you for allowing it to happen. Without you, we couldn't do it, just to be quite honest. We got a Patreon. If you guys want to buy us a cup of coffee, that's great. It's a monthly coffee for Shady. He likes coffee. We like coffee. And we got the PayPal, and we got the Teespring. Guys, did you guys see the Q post thing for 128? We've got that too down in the box. Go get one. They're going like hotcakes, by the way. So thank you guys very much, Shady. Thank you. I'm just so thankful for this show. I love when you drive, if you will, because I get to kind of hang out and talk to you guys and chat, and I really had a good time. So thanks, Shady, brother. And we'll be back Monday. And Shady, wow, amazing show, brother.
Well, we sure are shot out of a cannon here. MAGA till it hurts, Anon, and I don't mean that lightly, Anons. MAGA till it hurts. Don't let them slow you down. Don't let them stop you. Don't let them do anything to impede you helping POTUS get elected. We got to get behind him, and we got to get some fight and some spirit. I promise you, Joe Biden won't be bringing pain. I promise you, Bernie Sanders will not be bringing pain. But I do promise you one thing else. Matrix and I will consistently here bringing pain to the deep state. We're outing them. They're exposed. They're on the run. We're not just barking at the heels. We're knocking them down left and right. bowling pin, one bowling pin at a time. You guys are taking them out. I'm so proud to be here. I can't believe that we've gotten this far in this short a time. I would like to say, please, guys, give some love to these mods. If you think that these mods are the greatest moderators out there on YouTube, let's send them some love. Give them some hearts. Give them some booms. Give them some dancing anons. Tell them how much they mean to you. Tell them how much you are willing to stand up for this president. When I say MAGA till it hurts, don't ever get tired of winning, and don't ever run out of popcorn, Anon. I want you to keep eating popcorn. I also want you to go out there and support some amazing citizen journalists. Jordan Say, The Praying Medic, Serial Brain, iPod, SGE Report, We the People, Insider, 1776, Neon Revolt, Joe M. The storm is upon us with the memes, Lisa Mae Crowley, KT Wild, X22 Report, Anon Decoder, Blessed to Teach, Lionel Media, Stormy Patriot, Joe. Wow, we got so many great people here. Guys, please get over and support us any way that you can. It's much appreciative. We have a PayPal, we have a Patreon, we have the Teespring. You can get a shirt and help us out at the same time. Either way, it doesn't matter. The information is always free. That's the way it's gonna be. We're gonna be on this wall. The Matrix Groove Hour comes to you every single day at 1 p.m. on the East Coast. Guys, please get over there. Monday, we'll be there, we promise. But we are here to represent and to spread the notion that there is a clear line between the truth and the lie. Lie is that they are the global elite. The truth is that you are the global elite. The people that want liberty, the people that want freedom, the people that bring the truth and shine light into all the crevices of darkness out there. Let's do this, Anon. Bring this world together. All of you, so much love. Everyone out there, so much energy worldwide. 126 countries have visited intheMatrixxx.com. Let's keep them up. Let's get the numbers up. You guys come get the information. We will not be taken down. Anons, much love. Please have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Good Monday. Good night.